The thing that is the best of one, so far, I think that A7 is following a very similar pattern to how they've been drafting their past 2 games here, and I think they just want to be able to have options open for not only Nats, but maybe even for best player if there's only one tank available.
Yeah, not just that, but depending on, you know, priority, like we've seen for A7 has really been the XP lane. I don't know if that's actually going to change on this one. They do ban out the Eve.
I think they want the Fredrin, but if they ban the Fredrin, Freya's going to be left open.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what, going to be a powerful pick in the hands of the blue side. Whether it goes into Nats is going to be a very different story, but I think that Freya, it's a good flex pick no matter what. That's something that FUT has to decide upon.
I think it has to be banned. Just deal with the Fredrin, right? Deal with the Fredrin, try to counter with either Gord,
carry.
Yeah, carry.
Stuff like that, yeah.
That's a hard decision right now for FUT. Again, if they do just kind of let that Fredrin slip through, then you have plenty of tools to deal with it. And having those first 2 picks on that red side can already help that. They're actually going to take out the Atlas.
Very smart.
Very smart, yeah.
Because that means they're going to have access to Zushin. So no matter what A7 does, they have some form of
They took it.
Wait, so...
Okay.
They're giving Freya Fredrin?
They can even go like... Oh no, Phoveus is still open.
Oh yeah.
Red for sure, but then where do you go from here?
Matilda?
Oh, that's smart too.
Yeah, we were talking about the roam options, and you got to remember yesterday, this was a really good performance from Blotzfet on the Matilda, you know, that they had in their hands. So this is comfort, but it also just works really well with the Fredrin, just like we saw yesterday.
So now coming in, the Claude is still open if they want to get that priority over. But again, going up against the Fredrin, you already have a Zushin, not enough stretch. So do they want to get the carry to deal with the Fred? It's just unfortunate. If you pick up early, you might get countered later on.
Yeah, I think they also need a mid laner that's relatively independent, right? Because unfortunately for Matilda, depending on what that matchup looks like, it's hard for her to actually help with the push. Not to mention she's good at poking, but that's kind of it.
She's good at assassinating if they can play like me.
Yeah, I mean...
They've got the damage. Whoa, the Ruby! We talked about the Ruby yesterday.
Yes.
Ruby, and it comes through.
Ruby is going to be interesting. Because again, we don't know where it's actually going. It can still be played in the roam position. It can be played in the EXP. Ideally more towards the EXP, but we'll see.
Oh man, if it happens to be roam. No, that is so annoying though.
Yeah, but I think it can. Because right now, the change for the passive is that the lower your HP, the more spell them you get. So you kind of want to build a bit more damage. At least one War Axe.
Yeah, at least one War Axe is definitely understandable. And keep in mind that Nats, this is one of his, picks that he had when he was winning the previous MSC as well.
Yep. Not only that, but I'm wondering, is this do they pick up a Kimmy here for FUT Esports?
I was thinking about that, but I feel like Gore just makes a lot of sense. But you look at the comp on the opposite side, it's like, all right, as long as it wave clears by myself, it should be okay. But they get Freya instead.
Yeah, but the Kimmy is a very good shot because even during the Asian games, that's the most consistent counter towards the Zushin. The Zushin really can't do much.
Yeah, that's why I was almost
especially with the nerf on the mana for Zushin. Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, really she needed that though. I mean, there was just too much of just.
Agreed.
Here's my.
I beg to
Here's
defer.
My lantern flare all day. You have no choice.
I think that we were already coming to a point in the meta where we figured out ways around it. So I didn't think the nerf was necessary, but I guess it's a quality of life for everybody else.
Yeah, and she's
as
still
a tank
good.
player. As a tank player,
you guys have no rights. Please don't try.
I mean, like, let me just put it this way, right?
Justice for Rome's.
Justice for Rome's.
Mirko was using the Claude, I was using the Zushin, and we're just competing against each other for MVPs.
Yeah.
Rome lives matter, I guess.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Just now, Brigitte was using the Rome. She sacrificed.
She was a Cho, right?
She sacrificed herself a lot for us, more than necessary. But still, we survived.
Was she the Cho?
The Cho, the Kalia, and the Khalid.
Oh, you guys had plenty of time to play some games, huh?
Yeah.
It wasn't long games. It was.
Oh right, we're on a different server.
Yes.
That's true. That's true.
Good ban, by the way. The Kimmy was taken out. That's what we were thinking. Yuzhong is the answer over here, just because they don't know exactly if Navs is gonna end up playing this or not. So.
I think no matter what, it's going to be pretty rough. You get Arlet on the opposite side. If you ban out Arlet here, then that's fine. They get rid of Gord?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I mean, you were the one calling out the Gord because even picks like the Hive doesn't like the Gord because you just channel your Mystic Gush and then the Hive's like, I mean, I kind of want to dash there.
Yeah.
I guess I can't now.
There's a big beam in the way.
I suppose.
Oh, wait. What if this Ruby goes to gold lane, huh?
So, yeah, that's the thing. It's like flexed. It is flexible.
Because, hey, go back to double fighters.
Double fighter.
I mean, they have been
It's also
through...
because it's a YSS too. That was
Yeah,
that
exactly.
was the move back then when the YSS was dominant in the jungle. You pick up the 2 fighters, kind of helps you alleviate some of that pressure. But
helps
we'll
having
see.
a global ban system, right? Get a lot more practice with a lot of heroes.
We get Lilia as the mid lane pick for FUT. Ooh. Oh man, it feels like FUT knows what they want to be doing, and they're taking away all the potential counter picks around it.
If there's a goal laner, marksman, I mean, I feel like a Moskov should be...
Would make the most sense.
Yeah, would make the most sense. Because as a carry, your problem is going to be the Lilia.
Oh man, this one's a really tough one. It's a tough position, but now they end up taking the Arlet.
double
We still
fighter.
don't know where it... Oh!
Double fighter.
In
Double
the
fighter.
lead, yeah. So gold lane Ruby.
Yeah.
All right, gold lane Ruby.
I'm
Dude,
interested to see how double fighters work now.
Especially the Ruby, like because of the
Yep.
bit of a
Change.
buff, the change.
I haven't seen a bad Ruby.
Yeah.
Ruby loses, but not because of the Ruby, you know?
Yeah, I'm a little concerned, right? Because no matter what, I think that as long as the early game goes well for A7, things should smooth over from like mid to late. But now, this is what I'm worried about, right? So now you have a
CD.
composition that has insane scaling in the later stages of the game. The early game just needs to sandbag your opponents, and the base damage just isn't enough from the side of A7 unless they all commit onto Kazue, but he's got escape buttons on multiple angles.
Multiple angles. Yeah, the utility from the Matilda alone helps so much.
Yeah, looking at Alpha7, looks like they're changing up their strategy every single game, and coming in from FUT, kind of the same, just changing the hero. So I'm going to be throwing it over to Gideon as well as Naisu to cast over Alpha7 going up against FUT.
And welcome here. Oh, once again, it's me, Naisu. Gideon, we're bringing you match 5 to 8 to round out day 2 of the MSC wildcards here at EWC 2026. This one is crucial. LaFell already laid down the groundwork for this one. Again, whichever teams wins this, there's stipulations in play already as we are moving through wildcards. Gideon, we shared our thoughts throughout the draft. I mean, it's hard to pick which side is going to be able to make this one happen, but I will say I have to agree with you on the scalability, the infinite, essentially, scalability that comes with this kind of lineup that FUT Esports brought.
Whoa, 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 whoa. This is a very early invade coming in from XE trying to proxy the wave, but Best Player 1 is there to make sure that his eyes are set. Hey, you don't get to do this. You don't get to do whatever you want here. They are prepared, and it looks like FUT might actually have to take some time in this game.
Okay, so pretty much mirrored starts anyway for the junglers. They're going to go ahead and meet up with that Lith Wander. We'll see who gets there first. Bit of a poking happening here. Shark already going to flicker out of there, but I think they are able to get control, at least for now.
I mean, just look at the way that they're calling upon for resources, right? They fought for Little Wander. They managed to kind of break the freeze on top side with the help of Shark moving up and towards Nats' lane. It's still going to be a difficult lane, don't get me wrong, but he can't afford to fall too far behind.
Yeah, this is one of the things, though, when we talk about that infinite scalability with FUT Esports' lineup, like we've seen previously with these kind of heroes, you have to start to think, all right, for A7, leading into the first objective, which seems to be the case for them. They're going to wait for that, right? That's where they are going to be able to shine. The precision I feel like that they need to execute this kind of composition is what's so important for them. I'm talking about you have tons of crowd control.
Yep.
But is that enough? Or was the game plan, you know what? Let's go ahead and overload the crowd control. So if we miss one, we've got another, and then another, and then another, and then eventually one of those will connect and land and give us a favorable fight. But then is there enough damage to actually win those early fights against FUT Esports?
Yeah, I'm thinking that, like, for the most part, that's why we're seeing just a lot of emphasis here to make sure that Nats is down, right? But let's not forget about the timing of these Purifies. They can catch Nats out of position with a good, well-timed Purify, but Nats already caught Final Slash already through. Oh, he flickers away just in time! Doesn't get hit by the Fall of Valkyries as XE is now opening up the map, creating that space, and Cold World and Best Player 1 can fight forever, so they'll just dance around him.
They're going to dance around this turtle here. It's held at half health, but down one. Oh, they're going to go for Shark.
Shark's in trouble. He ends up going down, and it goes over to the worst person possible. XE finds it, and now continues to open up the map. Whole World gets the first initial knockup, but here comes Bloodzette just to support the back, and they can't deal with this any longer.
Oh, man, a really interesting decision there from Alpha7 to go ahead and stay around that. They now have to deal with this pressure towards the buff, but FUT Esports will get out. They're happy to go ahead and actually counter punch, plus get the objective. Turtle secured here. You know, Shark's still waiting for that level 4. It's just unfortunate that he had to go down before the fight for that turtle.
Right now, a lot of work here for best player 1. He's gonna have to hard carry this because he's the only one who really scales well late into the game. Orwell is doing a very good job at maintaining his presence and also slowing down the rotations for Blotzfett. But this game continues the way that it's going. FUT will eventually win.
Yeah, it looks like the plan right now is just to go ahead and feed as much resources and gold over to best player 1 on this YSS. You know, XC doing his thing. This is what we saw yesterday. You know, the Freya just able to go 1v2, sometimes 1v3 eventually when you got those items locked in, and you're pretty much fine on your own, whereas in the opposite case for Navs on the R-Lot, you know, you're relying on being able to set things up for your team with the final slash, but also he's just a little bit more, I would say, squishy than the Freya, right? So his positioning is so important for these fights, and you saw how quickly he was brought down in the previous matchup.
Oh, so close yet so far, but all the resources necessary are out as they extend the fight. Nice final slash coming into Nats to help secure this kill.
Hey man, as I was just saying, you know, that final slash is going to be important in there. He does get the War Axe, some extra gold up top. It looks like there's going to be a counter map play from FUT.
They're trying to deny space here, and they're doing a very good job. All this plating going into the hands of RX as the rest can't move forward. Quicksand Guard already been used, and that's going to be Shark's retreat. Man, 10 seconds left on the turtle, and I like the way that FUT's playing. They're saying, hey, XE, you're doing a really good job already. Yes, you ended up dying, and now you're a level down, but at the same time, we're not seeing much profit from A7, right? It's only 450 gold lead, 600 on the opposite side like 2 minutes ago. Really, it's not much.
The profit will happen here if they're able to actually go ahead and secure themselves a turtle. They're fighting for it, but it's already at half health for FUT Esports.
Nope, Shark already going to start initiating, poking their opponents, hunt a bone to call him down. Quickly with the Quicksand Guard, he's going to live in the Raging Sandstorm to get back out. Now it's the 50-50. Knock up towards Zia's side. Blotz trying to reposition. Kazue secures the first turtle of the game. Now they're going to second turtle of the game as they push forward even more. The pullback coming in from Zio is almost good. Final slash as well. Gets the Vengeance reset. Goes for one more. It can't keep him on his toes. Nats is too light with it. And they want to, another Purify. And that should guarantee Blotzfett's going down. An invade now, turning into an overextension. But best player 1 says no. Flicker for it from Nats. Secures another one, and now they want the orange buff.
Make it worth it. And Alpha7 does just that. They do lose that turtle, but man, they get 3 bodies in favor. They're looking for more. Under the turret, they're gonna go for Kazue. They take another and a turret off of it.
Looks like A7, they don't negotiate. They just immediately start these wars in enemy territory. They need to make sure they take all of the resources away from FUT to slow their scaling down.
Okay, so after all of that, literally in the last couple minutes there, around that turtle, A7 has gotten themselves a good lead, right? 2,000 up. Blotz is going to pick up a Flask of the Oasis. This is a really good item, obviously, for the Matilda. Helps with the survivability, but what I'm worried about is they're just dealing with this momentum right now from A7 thrown at them. And so for FUT Esports, they might have to calm down a little bit here. Or do they match fire with fire?
I think not yet, right? We need to look at the items. We need to see how far RX is off, whether he's going crit or whether he's going for the traditional golden staff. When we look at the items, it looks like he might actually be leaning into the crit side of things. He's got the Wind Talker. I think he's going for the Sky Piercer almost immediately after. And then probably Berserker's Fury, Haas Claw, the usual.
Yeah. Even looking at this, though, too, you can see traditionally with a Obsidia, right, as he picks up the Sky Piercer, just takes a little bit longer to get online with the Obsidias, and, you know, that's something we saw across the regions and the other qualifiers leading up to the road to EWC, MSC, and that's going to be the case. But that's why you have a lot of damage with the Lilia, for example. We've already seen the shades of that in some of these early skirmishes and team fights. And so for leaning towards XE's damage and, of course, Psyche, that's something they can do. But right now, A7's just holding down the zone around this last turtle.
It looks like it is going to be a contestation. Kazue trying to get on out of there as Matilda's getting is going to be enough. Raging Sandstorm unfortunately catches 2, but the final slash now into the back line as RX is trying his absolute best to get out of there. Flickers forward, backwards just to get out. XE, he's tried his best, but really, there's just not enough ways for him to close the distance.
Man, XE trying to do what we've seen before with the Freya, and it's just not going to happen. Even with just the kind of splitting them up in the team fight is not going to work for FUT Esports' approach to this. And right now looking at 4,000 gold ahead for Alpha7. They've got plenty of time to go ahead and get it situated. They've took care of all the tier 1 turrets as well. So they're in a really good position to set themselves up for that lore in about a minute and 10 or so. And so if you're looking at this for FUT Esports, right, you know you gotta wait. You gotta let your Obsidia get online. It's even more dire that you don't have the battle spells that you need. We've seen a lot of Purifies being expended so quickly. And it's just, I would say, the power spike that comes with a lineup of Alpha7 right now. They're gonna go and try to make a play. Look at that.
Oh, the Black Shoe's already out. Psyche gets pulled away. And now the final slash into the Raging Sandstorm. Best player now looking to clean up the rest of these kills as they take the T2 down on bot side. On the opposite end, though, XC not going to give them a chance to breathe as he's looking to trade it back. And now, unfortunately for A7, they got to give up the T2 down on the bottom side.
All right, now it's taking a little bit of poke here. Good push, XC. He'll handle it himself. It looks like it's going to be a trade.
This might not be the best decision just yet. Kazuya, he needs to clear this up. No! No! They're trying to break him. They're trying to kill him, but now the turret still manages to go underneath into the hands of A7. They take out Kazuya, and finally, the best case scenario for A7 is here.
Oh, man. Think about what this is saying right now for Alpha7, man. They are giving it to FUT Esports in this game. It's a best of one, but FUT Esports, we talked about it leading into the matchup. They haven't exactly been challenged. Well, now I'd say they have been challenged against Alpha7. This Lord spawns in. They've got a good, healthy lead in terms of itemization and economy against FUT Esports. This should be a Lord just for them. I think the main point here is FUT Esports is having a difficult time at trying to dissect this lineup and the way that it sets up around objectives. Best player 1 will go ahead and start it up, and this should just be a Lord in their favor. I don't think there's going to be much of a contest here from FUT Esports.
Yeah, there shouldn't be much of a contest at all. It's really difficult. A7 has hit all of their power spikes. They're good in economy. They're 5.4k ahead against FUT at this point. And FUT, I don't even think they've gotten their third items, right? It's 25k at this point. Even their carries really struggling to get the components.
Oh man, again, they're going to initiate.
Oh, they get it, and now the Sky Pearson from Best Player 1 is just too highly stacked. It's the percentages, the executions. What can you really do? They're praying for a little bit more, but XE, I think that if, by some stroke of luck, Best Player 1 traceless in the wrong direction, we might have an opportunity for FUT. But that depends on that Hunt of Bone from RX. It needs to connect.
Hey man, his name's Best Player for a reason, right? I don't know if he's going to trace us in the wrong direction, right? So they have the Lord making its way down bottom. They can go ahead and start to assault some of these bases. Base turrets, the tier 2s fall up top and mid. Holding on to the Holy Defense Shields right now, FUT Esports will have to pretty much use everything to clear this out. They're really relying on the Lilia's damage to clear out these minions and hold down what they can, but hey, A7 knocking on the base. They've got their flickers available. Naths or Shark can actually force a situation that FUT Esports might not want to be in for this, as the waves now making their way to the mid.
Okay, Kazuya trying to make an attempt, gets the energy surge, able to get back up with the guiding winds, and now forcing the Raging Sandstorm out, but Best Player has already taken him down with the help of the Turtle Bone. And see, the flicker from Nuts doesn't connect onto enough targets. If Psyche ends up still dying, thanks to Best Player. This fight is not looking that great because as much as they're taking the turrets, they are not getting real profit. It's a 2-for-2 trade for a bottom inhibitor. All of this, 2 lives for a better position for the next Lord.
Turret question mark is what I'm thinking. Under the turret, they go for that fight. And I get it. I mean, it makes sense. You're ahead this much. You are confident that you can win that. But then the team fight just didn't go in favor at all of Alpha7 there. And I mean, looking at this too, you know, the build alone, we're going to actually look at the instant replay real quick of this. This is what I was expecting, an initiation to happen. But it just didn't, the follow-through just wasn't there. Even after Kazuya was gone, they had enough mobility.
I mean, RX, he's already found one. They've traded it out, and now they take the mid-tier one, and now we already have a winsome nature for the side of RX. Okay, this changes it, right? FUT have finally come into a position where RX might actually be able to have relevant damage, right? He's been stacking up, you know, stacking up the bone shards, making sure that he's strong, making sure that the calcium's there. They're good first. Slide with the energy eruption, but it's just Shark. He's able to tank the damage for now. A7 being very, very careful. A single shutdown could reset the whole game.
This is tough. Again, just a bit ago, they had like 7,000 gold lead. Couple mistakes on trying to knock on these base turrets has lost them about 4,000 gold over to the right people for FUT Esports too. This Lord is coming up, and now what earlier when we saw just a clear sign to take the objective, that's not going to be the case now. FUT Esports is in a really good position to contest this one. XC holding down that mid. I don't know if they're going to want to force a fight. You could almost expect that Alpha7 might try to get the numbers advantage with this. I mean, look at Shark. He's going to swing around. You've got Zia here as well. They have all the crowd control available to them they want to use. Shark's going to be spotted out, though, here, so that's not going to happen. Now FUT Esports holding down this Lord is sitting at a half health.
Oh, look at this balance. Look at this balancing act. As soon as they see Shark, XC's already moving for that tri-brush. And now the 50-50 is that's looking for the final slash. Lands onto RX. He's gone. They're down. Kazue takes the Lord to save the day. As we see XC also getting taken out by best player one. Kazue, he's done his job. Now it's to buy as much time for the rest of his team. As Psyche is the only member who can actually wave clear.
Oh, Kazue buying so much time. He's got Blotsfet there too. They're going to be enough, but finally Kazue will go down. Blotsfet trying to get out, but hey, they bought the time they needed. And for A7, they're not going to be able to do much off of this.
They've got no waves. They got no waves to work with. XC's coming back up in 10 seconds. RX is back in 2. And finally, we're going to see Blotsfet eventually go down. I mean...
Oh, the shields!
Wait, hold on. Does he have his ult? I think it might be coming back up, but A7, unfortunately, next minion wave already pulled up. Polo finally securing the kill, and now we are back to where we started.
Gideon mission secured for FUT Esports off of that one. Started with coming down to the Retribution battle. They won it. I mean, think about it. A7 couldn't have found a better target. They locked down RX. He wasn't even part of the fight, but you lost the objective. And then after that, Kazue and Blotsfet were able to buy so much time that eventually they're back in this even-Steven type of matchup. So Lord is cleared out, but ultimately that's what FUT Esports has wanted ever since the beginning. You know, give RX the time to build up. Now the thing they have to deal with is RX.
Yep.
Don't get picked off.
Don't get picked off. I think right now, they need to figure out where Nats is. He's the only one who can make this quote-unquote super play, right? Raging Sandstorm, you can kind of see it coming towards you before the flicker. There's a moment of hesitation, of course, to channel up the final slash, but it's really hard to react to. I think Hunterbone needs to target Nats or best player one. Ideally, Nats, but I don't think it's impossible to catch BP1.
One thing I will say is Nats, you know, he's done this back when he was a former Raider, and it was the surprise factor that he was so known for in the XP lane, especially in his early days into the professional scene, and that's exactly what Arlott does, right? Arlott, in the hands of these XP laners, they're able to surprise the opposing team, and Nats has been able to do that, right? He's got that many assists for a reason, and he's able to go ahead and lock down the right targets. Now, playing against that is what the obstacle is for right now for FUT Esports. Oh.
Ooh, good reaction time here from Kazue. He smelled something fishy, and he immediately reacted to it. Now, next Lord is coming up in 36 seconds. Everybody is going for their maximum build. It's 50k to 46. So really, A7 have the extra gold to start swapping items. I think FUT just needs to kill BP one time and then catch Nats.
Either or, maybe. I mean, even if they can just avoid Nats, conceal. They want to make a play on XC here.
They're making a hard read.
Yeah, XC got the information, but I don't know if he's going to be able to escape this.
Oh, okay. Raging Sandstorm as well. The CC immunity keeps them alive, but it helps when you have Purify too. Now they've caught them. Let's see if they're going to get the trade back. Wozet, he's trying to create some space, some distance. They give up their orange buff, but that's totally fine. Now they move forward, and they even use the Retribution for it.
RX?
And they want a little bit more. The final slash pushes RX back into the worst position possible, and he's dead while still having his flicker available. Now, still underneath their turrets, A7 have an opportunity. Why did he black shoes? And now he's going to die for it.
It's all falling apart for FUT Esports here. A mistake after a mistake, and one more to clean it up. Alpha7 will win this best of one against FUT Esports.
Oh man, after all that hard work, after everything that A7 calculated to try and push for that game, dropped it to make sure that FUT has one more opportunity.